my life's work is mainly devoted to healing, and that healing work is divided into, but also overlaps with macrobiotics and Oriental medicine. And it's been a fascinating journey, learning those, using those, combining those, and seeing the extra benefit of bringing those together. And it all began way back in 1969 when I was in hippie world and long hair and drug culture of that time in America. And one of my brothers invited me to go on a journey with him to his vegetarian ashrams, and I really liked it. I liked the food, and I was inspired to find out more about macrobiotics. And that took me to Boston, where I found Michio Kushi. And in that context, I really felt like I found my bearings. I was extraordinarily, instantly inspired, and decided to come to England and study. And so it took a year or more for me to make that happen. But by studying in England, really the Chinese medicine came much more concrete to me, and the macrobiotics kept being an important part of my life. And I've merged those from there. And later on, in the late 90s, I went for a year away to an acupuncture school in America. And that ushered me into being dean of a school for 3 years and teaching at the school. And so I just loved it, but I also knew that it lacked something that macrobiotics had. So I saw that they both needed each other, this macrobiotic world and the acupuncture world. And so that's what my life has been, bringing those together, weaving them into one nice whole. Basic Alchemy is a program to help anybody learn how to manage their health in more simple, practical ways that give them flexibility, not answers, but choices, and learning how to make best choices in their life. And there's nothing complicated about it, but there is, though there's a simplistic way to understand it, it's profound in its application. And that's the beauty of the course, is how to see that it all weaves together into something profoundly useful, even though each part is very simple to grasp. That's why someone doesn't have to know anything about transformational work or body work or psychological work. It's just going to be a method of using a few core tools that are easy to understand and see how they apply in practical ways around food and lifestyle, that they can experiment and experience and reap the benefits. So it's really taking the philosophy that would be the foundation of what we call macrobiotics and using some Oriental medicine tools to realize how we can understand our body messages, how we can take charge of our wellness in basic ways and feel confident about it, feel that we can analyze, interpret, and make appropriate, simple changes with our diet or lifestyle that can make us continue our path of wellness. Food must be understood as the key to securing our health and well-being. In an era where food is everywhere prevalent, we're not starving, we're not scrounging for food on a day-to-day basis. It's readily available. The problem today is quality of food. Not whether it has GMO or not. It's not little matters, it's big matters. Really, in the past 50, maybe maximum 100 years, but especially the last 50 years, food quality in the Western world has gone down dramatically. And that means because of agriculture, using a lot of chemicals and pesticides, and in animals, a lot of hormones and antibiotics. This has affected everybody's well-being, but not in a one-time basis, but a gradual weakening and disease-producing basis that Western medicine can't easily see. It's just so omnipresent. And secondly, most people choose food based on sensory and habit. And that might have worked hundreds of years ago because there weren't bad choices. But nowadays, there's so many bad choices. Bad choices mean foods that have never existed before, like soft drinks. Nobody's ancestors have had a soft drink. So when someone says to me, why can't I have a soft drink? It's an absurd question. We don't need it. And it's undermining our well-being. The modern way of eating has distorted our internal health, and it's distorted it that is real. That is, why is heart disease still increasing? Why is diabetes rapidly increasing? Why are many cancers still happening? There are plenty of health issues that can actually be seen as very dietarily linked. And the question is, what threshold do people have to be at to say, I'm tired of the way I feel and how I eat and how that makes me feel? Does it have to be through sickness and dire things? Well, we hope not. We hope there's enough conscious sensibility that someone can choose better, search out betterness. And there's enough, interestingly, growing consciousness around that, better, healthy foods. Recently, a lot, right? Organic is really big, and that's really good. But there isn't a clarity of how to choose food. There isn't a clarity about centeredness to food. There isn't a clarity about cooking and the art of cooking with food. So that all is what macrobiotics can contribute. In terms of lifestyle, in our modern life where we have so many demands and priorities, we're not used to making food the priority. Food kind of gets down on the list because food's more readily available, already prepared, or quick prepared, microwave it and you're ready to eat. And putting some more effort into food, into the cooking or selection, which are two separate things. Selection is where the wisdom comes, cooking is where the skill comes, is going to reap more benefit for us. Then that means we have to slightly reorganize our priorities. You don't have to spend hours in the kitchen every day. We can just cook more intentionally 3 times, 4 times a week and enjoy that as a meditation, as an experience, as a creative expression. Then we see it not as something aside from our life, but part of our life. But it doesn't have to be all-consuming every day, because we can cook extra, have leftovers, use foods creatively, supplement with other foods in other ways, or eating out. It doesn't have to lock someone away from the world. It's just a way to get to our core health again. This course is not just about food. It's about 2 other things. One is that I believe everyone should know basic anatomy and what the body's doing for us. It's there mysteriously and secretly and beautifully to serve us and empower us. But our knowledge about it is very important. So even what basic Western understanding is useful, but our knowledge about it is very important. So even what basic Western understanding is useful. But what's even more useful is to overlay on that Oriental medicine's energetics of the body. That's the meridians. And we will learn in Basic Alchemy basic power points on the body that can really strengthen us, support our self-healing, rebalance imbalances, unblock stuck places, and nourish our self-healing power more and more deeply. But there's basic points that are very powerful. But to just learn them individually is not the intention of the Course. The Course is to show the relationship of those energies and those key power points in relation to Western aspects of how the body works. And the beauty of Oriental medicine's energetics is it's not just about function of the body, it's about body, mind, spirit. So that one point can make stomach function better, but also the aspect of when stomach's functioning better, the mind functions more peacefully, for example, instead of more anxious. I'm saying anxiety is partly a stomach problem. And so if we learn how to calm the stomach, both with food, but with acupressure points, we are affecting our mind. So we'll learn an integration of body-mind through the meridians. This is a course about self-healing that is going to take people on a journey, but they have to do the walking. They have to do the work. And I'm just giving them the tools to do it. And I'm saying that this course can be that springboard for them to do further work in their life, but support their internal well-being. Their physical well-being transmutes into their mental well-being and gives them the power to go on with their life in a much healthier way.